It is Olivia Grace, and I am back with another video. Welcome to the Master Manifestors channel, where we learn all about manifestation. And I am a pretty good teacher, so if you are just wanting to understand more and, of course, bring some wonderful things into your life, you should subscribe. Today, I'm talking about the one thing that you need to do to manifest. And why people struggle with this. And of course, I have some tips, and I have a 30-day challenge that I'm super excited about that I want to invite all of you guys to join in with. I am a manifestation teacher, coach. I feel that that title is going to be kind of shifting, but I'll keep you guys updated with that. But all different ways that I can help you are in the description. So let's get into this, guys, because I want to talk to especially people that are beginners, or even if you're not a beginner and you're struggling with something, because even vets struggle with things at sometimes. But there's only one thing that you are doing, especially when using the law of assumption, which is the quickest way to manifest in most cases, right? And that is to assume that you have the desire, right? That is to move into the acceptance, the decision, the energy of I now have this thing, right? And it's so simple. It sounds so simple, but where a lot of people struggle is, they have maybe ideas about themselves that oppose that assumption that they're wanting to make. But the big thing that I'm seeing with newbies, especially you guys, is that, and even vets, like I said too, I feel like even vets have this, right? Is where you come up against the desire. Hi, luxury queen. You guys, you are not fully understanding the connection between your mind and your reality, right? That is pretty much like the biggest block, because when you understand that the connection between your mind and your reality, there is no block, there is no obstacle, there is no limiting belief that can hinder you, right? And something I'm gonna say for you guys is, especially with a lot of new people again, is that we're asking like a lot of questions, which is, of course, hi Veronica, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. I was just thinking about you. But a lot of people, when they're new to the law, are like asking questions. Well, can I do that? And can I do this? And what about this? And what about that? Well, this is taking this long, and I've been through this and all these things, right? And I totally get it. But at the same time, put it into practice. But let me get back to the mind and reality connection, right? Because it's like this, you guys. If I tell you, here, I'm going to give you this pencil and I'm going to give you this paper. Whatever you draw on that paper, you can draw anything. Like, this is a blank piece of paper. You have this utensil, use it, draw on the paper, whatever you want. And you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. I can draw anything I want. I'm like, yes, draw anything you want. But can I draw this? That's how everybody like, but can I do this? But can I create that? But can I do this? But what about that? But what about this, right? And you have to understand that the power is in you. I can tell you, yes, you can create this, you can create that, you can do this, you can do that, but it's up to you to actually put the pencil to the paper and draw that for yourself, right? It's up to you to actually see that with this pencil, you truly can draw anything. I want you to start seeing your manifestation, your imagination as that, right? That's what you're doing when you're imagining, as you are creating a new drawing. And so a lot of us maybe have drawn something. Maybe you drew a flower and you're like, but I really want to draw a rainbow. But look, this flower has been here for 10 years. It's been here for 15 years. I've never seen somebody with a flower draw a rainbow, and all of these different things. But it's like, no. It doesn't matter what's there. It doesn't matter what's not there. You have the tool in your hand that is allowing you to now create whatever you want. And that tool is your imagination, right? So now, okay, this is like basic like manifestation, right? So why don't people understand this? And this brings me back to what I was saying about putting it into practice. I could watch a video of, yogis saying that they are levitating, that they're levitating and all of these things. But until my physical body actually levitates off the ground, it's going to be hard for me to really, truly believe that, to really, truly conceptualize that, right? This is why putting it into practice is so imperative, right? One of the things with revision for me that, and even manifestation in general, that makes it so easy for me is that I'm knowing what I'm telling you guys. Like, I'm knowing that it doesn't matter what's on the paper. I have the tool to create whatever I want. I have the eraser and I have the pencil that can draw something new. So when you're seeing it like that, you literally truly come into this limitless aspect. But a lot of people are coming into the law and coming into manifestation still with a very limited belief and mindset, still coming from, they don't have the basic understanding of the connection between their mind and their reality. And they're listening to stories and seeing all this cool stuff that people are doing, but they have not had that experience for themselves. Even Neville talks about that. The only way for you to really understand this is to experience it yourself. And it sounds so simple, right? Assume you have it. You know, that sounds so simple. Like, there's no way that all of these problems that I have in my life, in my relationship, in my body, in my bank account, whatever, that they can just be changed with an assumption or changed with my imagination. But you will not know until you try and do it for yourself, right? When you try and do it for yourself, you can't deny it anymore. When you're seeing something, if I sit here, hey, Jacarius, if I sit here and I actually levitate off the ground, well, then I can't sit there and say that levitation is impossible anymore, right? So, but if I'm seeing somebody do it, or I'm hearing stories about it, or I'm reading books about it and all of this kind of stuff, it still can seem like an out there idea and not something that maybe I can personally experience, okay? And there are a lot of other things that stop people from just going to the assumption, right? Like I said before, if you're manifesting an SP, but let's say you grew up, you know, in trauma, you grew up feeling like the most unloved, the most, you know, uncared for, it may be difficult for you. And then on top of that, a lot of, especially SP people, are coming into manifestation fresh from, you know, real muggle world. You know what I mean? So they don't even have like an understanding yet of the connection between mind and reality, like I'm talking about, right? So they're trying to like override all this trauma and all this identity that they've been kind of steeping in for their whole entire life, and override it with, like, you know, affirmations or whatever, which you can do, but you're not understanding the depth of what you're actually doing, which is it's not about really getting something, you know. I mean, it is about getting something, right? But the way that you do that, the path to you doing that, is coming in. Muggles, yeah, I do use that. That's what I feel like the regular people are. But you know, it's about the change within, right? So you can't. I won't even say you can't, and I'm not even about to get all into that, because you guys know I can go on and on and on. But what I will say is that the only thing, and even sometimes as vets, you guys, we can, or even like intermediate, we can know all this stuff, have been practicing for years, but when it comes to this one desire, when it comes to this thing, especially when it comes to SP things, it seems like it's beyond us, it's above us. But realize that anything that is beyond you or above you is only because you decided that it is. And just like you decided that it is above you and it's beyond you, you can decide now, today, in this moment, with this challenge, that it is not above you anymore. And just assume it, just do it. That's the thing with revision, you guys, is that I did not sit there and study revision. When I first revised something, I didn't even understand it. I didn't even fully believe it. I was like, okay, like that sounds, I know anything's possible, but that is pretty out there. I don't know about fucking changing the past. That's crazy, right? You know, but I did it though. I just tried. That's it. That's literally it. There's a version of me that said, that's impossible. I'm not, that never did it, never did revision, never tried it, never taught it, any of that, right? All it is the difference between you actually trying to do it, not even trying, but doing it. Do the imaginal act. See it in your imagination. Re-see it. See your future differently. Assume that somebody is different. Realize again what an assumption is, you guys, right? You know, an assumption is accepting something as a fact that is not currently a fact in front of you. You're assuming something is true. You don't have proof that it's true, right? So whatever it is that you're taking in your life, you're going to assume that. Now, like I said, there's a lot of things, because obviously we know that, hello, especially if you're on my channel, you know that, right? But what actually stops us from making that assumption, right? And as I said, there can be lots of different things that stop us from being able to accept something as a fact when we're seeing opposite evidence, right? But this 30-day challenge is going to help you. It's going to get you past all of that shit. And I'm going to be doing it with you guys. And I'm literally super excited. So I want you guys to do this right now. I don't know if you can do it while you're watching. I believe that you can. But I want you to go into your calendar on your phone and set a reminder. You can pick whatever time that you want. If you want to be a scholar, pick 2 times in the morning and at night. And I want you to pick a time and set like a reminder for like from 5 to 10 minutes. So for mine, it's like from 10 a.m. to 10:10, right? And what you're gonna do in this time is go beyond assuming, but go into gratitude for having the desire, right? Let me tell you guys why this is so powerful. First of all, this was channeled to me from my guides. When I asked my guides last year, what's the best way to manifest? They told me the best way, and really all you need to do, is to assume and be grateful for it, right? And I heard that and I practiced it for a bit, but you know, our minds like wander, you know? And, but the power in this, you guys, is that sometimes even when you're scripting or you're affirming or whatever, it is hard for you to catch the feeling of it being done. So like I said, if you're that person that is, you know, heavily traumatized in your life, has always been treated really terrible, and you're trying to assume yourself into this amazing relationship with your specific person or with whoever, right? Then there's that gap. There's that, oh, you know, everybody loves me. I am so loved, but it's not penetrating inside because you have all that like resistance and all that stuff that you've been believing up until now, right? Now, when you go into gratitude for having that, right? It's almost like it bypasses in your brain. Your brain, like when you say thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this amazing relationship that I've created. I am so grateful to feel every day like my most healed, evolved self. I am so grateful to be in the best relationship that I've ever been in. I'm so grateful to be with so-and-so and our relationship be better than ever and flourishing. I am so grateful now that I never have to worry about bills or worry about paying for anything. I am so grateful that, you know, my body has started to look exactly the way that I want it to. I am so grateful that it didn't take me any effort. I'm so grateful that all these things happened so quickly. When you start to do it, and just try it, you guys, just try it. Try actually being great, and just don't even try and be grateful, right? Just talk as if you're grateful. You can write it down. You can do it in your mind. Writing it down helps because you're focusing. It helps you to focus on what you're doing. But write it down. I'm so grateful for whatever being done. And what it does is in your mind, it kind of fools your brain into thinking that it already happened, right? Which is what we're trying to get to. It brings your brain into thinking, well, they're feeling like happy about this. So obviously whatever has happened, or whatever they're talking about has already happened, right? Because sometimes when we're doing a technique, we can still be aware, have the awareness while we're doing the technique that I'm trying to get this, right? I'm saying these affirmations so that, you know, this thing changes. But when you go into gratitude, it's almost like my personal experience is that the gratitude just immediately takes over me. And I'm immediately in the feeling and the energy of gratitude, which most of us would be in that feeling had we manifested the things that we want. And so it's so now I'm telling my new story, I'm manifesting, I'm saying the new things that I want to say, but I'm doing it already being in the feeling, not only in the feeling of having it, but in the feeling of being grateful for having it, you guys. So I want you guys to practice this with me. It's 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes out of your day. You can do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, 10 minutes in morning and night, however. But I want you guys to really do this because this is it, you guys. That is putting you in the assumption. It's putting you in the end, right? That is the true end. If everything that you wanted happened today, I believe that you would be grateful, you would be happy, right? But it's hard to feel that when you're even when you're trying to assume something, or even when you're trying to manifest something, you're trying to do the technique to get this thing to actually happen. That's not quite the right energy that you really want to be coming from, right? You know, but this gratitude, it puts you right in that energy, you guys. So that is the 30-day challenge. Set it now, you guys. While you're watching this, don't click off this video before you set it now, you guys. guys, because that is the difference between getting something and continuing to just keep searching and searching and searching. Okay, you have to actually put it into practice. You have to actually assume that you have it, and watch how fast. It's probably not going to take you 30 days to get what you want. And more than that, when you actually come into the assumption, when you actually do what I'm telling you to do, you're going to see how different that feels. You're going to see how different your thoughts are actually when you actually go into the assumption of having the desire. Jacarius, you said you have a success story about revision. I would love to hear it. If you want to tell us really quick. And Jacarius says, that might help as I've been wanting to capture that feeling. Yes. And yes, you know, and obviously you guys, you don't have to, like, just a side note, don't worry about the feeling. Honestly, y'all, don't worry about anything, to be real. That's something too that is really, relief is a big, yes, Jacarius. Like, relief is one of the best, like, one of the, I'd say most common feelings when you're in the Sabbath, when you're in the state of the wish fulfilled, is relief. If you think about it again, like, let's say, you know, your rent is due tomorrow, but you don't have the money, and then, you know, your great aunt comes over and hands you the money, you know, how are you going to feel? That feeling of anxiety, that feeling of trying to get, is leaving you. Now you're in the feeling of relief. So yes, relief is great. But yes, that's what I was saying was, while Jacarius is typing her story out, because you guys love revision stories, so I want to give you guys some. But don't worry about anything, you guys. That's another thing. Sometimes we get so obsessive and so, like, micromanaging everything that we're doing. And did I do this long enough? Or did I do this right? Or did I do this right? Assume that you did everything right. Assume that you've done enough. Assume that what you're doing is okay. Even if you've been slipping up, even if you've been fucking up, assume that it is, because the thing is, like, it's funny because Abraham Hicks talks about how, like, when you, like, basically when you're going through more contrast, all you're doing is making your desire bigger, right? And like, the more that you kind of find yourself in the lower and lower and lower, the more it's just going to propel you to really, like, honestly buckle down and really do the work to change your life. The more uncomfortable that you get, the more that you're not, hi Amy. Oh, Amy Luna. I love Luna because I love the moon. But the more that you, like sometimes you guys, like, for me, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie to you. You guys know, because y'all, like, been on my channel. But I, like, the past couple years for me have been a fucking struggle bus, bro. Like, it's been a struggle bus. But in that, it has caused me to evolve so fucking much. And honestly, quickly, because when you're comfortable, it's not like, it's kind of like being like a rich kid. There's not really many 15-year-old rich kids, you know, that's sitting around wondering when they're going to get a job so they can get a check, right? It gets you to kind of be a little bit complacent and kind of like, whatever, you know. But shit, a kid that their parents are struggling to keep the lights on, struggling to keep food on the table, as soon as they hit 15, the first thing they're doing is trying to go get some money, right? So that has to do with just, like, when you're going through it, you guys. I know when you're in it, it can seem fucking terrible. Like, I totally get it, y'all. But trust that it is leading you to the higher version of yourself. Many people that come here, many people that come into the law of assumption, come in out of fucking struggle. The way that I got into spirituality was I was literally having anxiety attacks so bad, I felt like my head was gonna explode. And I said, I can't go on like this. I can't continue life like this. Like, I have to figure something out. And that's when I got led into, like, Buddhism, which led me into all this other stuff that led me to where I am. Okay, so I just say that as encouragement, you guys, because I know how it is when life is beating you the fuck up and you're just like, what the fuck? But it's calling forth from you the version of you that is gonna rise above this and overcome it. Okay, so I'm gonna read to Carrie. She says, this person back in March triggered me, brought up a situation that I was working on and doing well, minding my mindset, and she felt the need to be in my face about it months after the fact. Let me see. That video where you said you fell and slid backwards, girl, I was in the abyss. Fucked me all the way up for months. I decided that I don't know these people. I don't know her. We work in the same building and was a colleague of SP. Okay, so she's still typing that out. Amy, you said, guess what, girly? Tell me all the tea, y'all. I ain't been on here in a long time and I missed you guys. I'm still waiting on Jacarius to finish her story up. But yes, and ooh, Amy's telling us a story too. I love hearing your stories, you guys. Well, while you guys are typing your story, I'll tell a story. So I had a client, and like, I'm not going to say any like of her name or anything like that, but I had just been, she had been manifesting something for a bit, right? And we were about to have a session, and I was in my like meditation prayer before our session began. And in the meditation, it's funny because the person like that was guiding the meditation was like, you know, what is something that you want to experience in your day? Like, what is, or she asked, what's something you want to be resolved in your day? And that day I was feeling so good. I was feeling so like in the Sabbath. I was like, I don't need shit. Like I already know everything that I want is mine already. But I thought of my client, and I was like, I would like for that, her situation to be resolved. And I heard her in my head telling me that her situation was resolved, y'all. She got on the call and told me word for word what I had just heard in my meditation. I was like, wow, it was so tripped out. I love being able to, you know, just like assist my clients and see you guys winning. That shit makes me so happy, you guys. Like, it makes me so happy. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Amy says, so my cat ran out the back door in the rain, so I had to get her and went to the park. So I had to go there, and it takes 20 minutes to get there. She's still typing hers out. Okay, wait. Jacarius says, let me start Jacarius' story over. So she says, this person back in March triggered me, brought up a situation that I was working on, doing well, minding my mindset, and she felt the need to be in my face about it, SP, months after the fact. I decided that I don't know these people. I don't know her, but we work in the same building, and it was a colleague of SP. And she says, don't I go do my hair? She's my stylist's assistant. She said, I didn't recognize her and only realized who she was when her name was said. She never recognized me, complimented my hair color, and looked at me in the mirror. Nothing. That's crazy, Jacarius. That is so cool. I love that, guys. Yeah, we had talked in another video about revising that you've never met somebody. Y'all try it. I mean, you guys, like, this world is so trippy. It's so beyond the things that we think, that like the things that we know, and you'll never get to know and experience them until you like literally do it yourself, you guys, until you try. Ooh, donut, what's up? I love donuts. Okay, so let me read Amy's story now. So she said, so my cat ran out the door in the rain, so I had to get her and went to the park, and so I had to go there. It takes like 20 minutes to go there, and she went back home and was in my PJs. I can't. That is so awesome, Amy. I'm so glad that you got your cat back. I know how much that has to mean to you, and that she literally returned back by herself. I love that. Jacarius says she's been several times. She's been several times to the stylist and she still doesn't recognize her. That's amazing. I love that. Y'all, how does it feel to be little magicians? I love it for us. But yes, you guys, set your calendars, y'all. I'm not playing with y'all, okay? Set your reminders on your phone. Do this for yourself, y'all. It's fucking free, okay? Do this for yourself. Set your reminders on your phone. 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and live in the end and assume and really start to think the thoughts, entertain the thoughts. It's honestly going to feel so much better to you than the things that you've been thinking against your idea, against your manifestations. Amy says, can I draw? I actually cannot. Well, it's so funny you say that, Amy, because I was talking to my friend last night, and she was telling me, like, we were talking about drawing, and she was saying how she could teach me to draw. I can draw, like, sort of, but I'm not like an artist. Like, I'm not great at it. But anywho, I love you guys so much. Amy, definitely come back and tell us your story next time I go live. I don't know when I'll be going live again, but I love you guys. Subscribe, like the video, guys. It helps me. And let's get this challenge and let's see what's up, y'all. You know, I know y'all want your manifestations. Let's actually do the work together, okay? Love you guys. I believe in you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.